I already checked the venue, facilities, tools, supplies, and equipment needed in this qualification meet the standards set in the training regulation prior to the start of the competency assessment. Good morning, trainees. Welcome to the Master Institution, a training and assessment center accreditation by TESDA. I am Jomel M. Kitalig, your competency assessor for Masonry and C2. Before anything else, I would like to acknowledge the presence of the TESDA representative, Ms. Ann de la Cruz, and our assessment center or AC manager, Mr. Joshua Malyari. Do not worry about their presence. They are just here to observe, check if the candidate of assessment is the observed accurate with the prescribed competency assessment methodology and procedures. Before we proceed to our orientation, I will just get the assessment package from our TESDA representative, Ms. Ann de la Cruz. Okay, for this assessment package, it demonstrates all the materials needed for the assessment. For the checking of the attendance, once your name is called, please come in front and present of your administration ID slip and any valid ID that can please affix your signature right beside your name and on the attendance sheet. Okay, candidate number 1. And then next may have your administration slip, valid ID please. Sign this attendance will be used in the candidate number 1. Please wear your candidate number tag because I will use the identifier throughout the assessment program. I have here with your accomplishment application form and self-assessment guide. This is an indication that gets to know you can perform all the individual united competencies enumerated in Masonry and C2, and that no one is forcing you that take in this assessment. The purpose of this assessment is to measure your knowledge, skills, attitude, and well as to determine the level of competency. If you met the minimum requirements for this assessment, you will be receiving a national certificate on a food processing NC2 for you to use in the job application or job promoter, whether here in local and in abroad. This qualification is composed of 3 main competencies: that basic, common, and core. The core competencies are the occupational health and safety, working in the team environment, participating in workplace communication, and the career professionalism. The tasks of the performer are preparing masonry materials, performing basic masonry, and the laying blocks for structure, and plastering wall structure. And the last, installing are the cast of balusters and the hard scrap. You will be given 3 hours to perform on binding competencies of this qualification. In any role of assessor is to conduct the assessment, collect evidence of your performance, and make it assessment decision based in the evidence gathered. You will be perform evidence will be judged according to the fear of dimension of the competencies, which are task skill, task management skill, competency management skills, and job environment, and also by using 6 rules of evidences, which are the authenticity, consistency, accuracy, certainty, and the sufficiency and validity. The assessment method that we will use for this assessment are the demonstration and the oral questioning in the demonstrating all you have doing is to perform all the units of a competency enumerated for Masonry NC2 to check your underpinning skills in the oral questioning. You will be given a three questioning and you will be given a three questions for you to answer the truthfully to check your attitude and underpinning knowledge. And lastly, the written test, you will be answered the 30 minutes multiple choice test to assess your underpinning knowledge. If you have any difficulties in understanding the instructions given with regards to your process of this assessment, just let me know and so I can clarification explain the instruction given to this Filipino language. Candidate number 1 would like to inform that during assessment, please refrain your using cell phone or gadgets because when the assessment starts, you will be no longer allowed to use cellular phones, and cheating and coaching and strictly prohibited. Once you are caught, you will be grounded for disqualification. Please observe safety. The first aid kit located near on the door in case of the fire and the fire extinguishers in front of the back of the room. Fire emergency exit are properly located in the case of the encountered to untoward incident. Please call the my attention so we can give an appropriate first aid. After performing all the activities for this assessment, I will give my feedback to you individually. So if you have any correction, questions, or doubts about the result of your assessment, you have the right appeal. Just submit a letter of the test the provincial office. About the assessment result, we observe that strictly confidentially only authorized, perform, and the restrictions before you have your training proper are allowed to see the results of the assessment. About this, the assessment package, I will give the secure this to ensure is the integrity. We are requesting that you candidates, please, we are requesting that refrain from giving the information regarding the assessment procedure to anyone. For those who will be evaluated and completed with the insurance of the NC will be given after 5 working days. Just being with your competency assessment result summary, passport size and photo will be a white background and color, and that will be a 50 pesos for the process fee. And the validity of your national certificate of PS of your 5 years from the date of the insurance. For those who will be evaluated as not yet competency, don't worry because you will can still apply for the for the reassessment, and the procedure in the same of you will be the same you have to undergone for this assessment. Before we end this orientation, if you have any question, concerns, or classifications about the assessment procedure, you may now raise your hand because whenever the assessment starts, you are no longer allowed to ask questions. Okay, any questions? I will now give you 1 hour to attend to your personal needs. There is a comfort room at the back, and if you want to eat, there is a canteen beside of the room. However, during the assessment, you are no longer allowed to go outside of this room. Please be back on time and go. Okay. Welcome back, candidates. We will now start in your giving assessment. I would just like to remind you about the do's and don'ts. From this moment onwards, you are no longer allowed to use your cell phone. Please observe silence in the assessment. In the assessment area, cheating is strictly prohibited where your PPEs and your observed and absent safety. Let's start with your written test. This is the measurement rating knowledge. to consist of, this will be a 30 items, multiple choice types of questioning. You have a 30 minutes to answer it. Okay, then time starts now. Okay, time is up. Well, now to proceed to the with the demonstration, here is the copy of the specific instruction. This one is the copy of this instruction. You have 10 minutes to read, and then you have 10 minutes to read. Okay, time is up. The demonstration is used to test the underpinning skill and knowledge of uses of the qualification. Come and follow me to demonstration area. Before anything else, I would like just to remind you that you want to always wear your PE and observe CT you conduct the performance for this assessment. Here are the different stations. We will be at 3 stations in this evaluation. The first station will be laying a block, which you will all use the 15 hollow blocks to complete the second station will be plastering a wall surface, which you will need to plaster a 2 square meter wall. Finally, the third station will be demonstrate how to install balusters. I will give you 5 minutes to familiarize yourself with the area of the assessment room and the equipment of these tools. Okay, this time starts now. Okay, time is up. And next, you have 3 hours to perform all the tasks for each unit of competency. Time starts now. Okay, time is up. We are now on the last part of this assessment, which is the oral questioning individually. So, please, candidate number 2, proceed to the waiting area. And wait for your candidate number to be called as the administrator to the oral. Questioning to the candidate number 1. Conducts an oral questioning. Candidate number 1 should be up to the question of number 1, 3, 5. And then candidate number 2 should be answering the question number 2, 4, and 6. Okay, thank you. You will be, please call the candidate number 2. Candidate number 2, please proceed to the waiting area for the result of the assessment. Candidate, I already checked that your papers in your assessment. Candidate, I have already checked your papers in your assessment. I will give your feedback individually. Candidate number 1, please come in front and sit on this. And candidate number 2 will be waiting area. How do you feel about the assessment?
According to the information we received for the assessment, you are able to complete and all the tasks within the allotted time and show creativity by creating various tasks using innovation way. In the field of masonry, creative is precisely the method we employ in various situations. Demonstrate the feasibility of implementing these ideas in real world situation, and we were still able to respond in every question, even though we were a little version answer them.
With that said, congratulations. I found your competency with the assessment. You may claim your NC after 5 working days at the TESDA, Provincial of Office from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Just bring me with your competency assessment result and summary, one piece of passport size picture with the white background and color, and the 50 pesos for the processing fee. For the confirmation of the assessment, kindly sign this cars and race rating sheet with your cars will be released with be the assessment, the center manager. If you don't have any question, you may now go to waiting area. Wait for the TESDA representative because he will be also evaluate this assessment program, and please call candidate number 2. Candidate number 2, how do you feel about this assessment? Cut.
According to the information we gathered from your assessment, you performed well. However, you failed to complete the assignment within the allotted time. I think you have a lot of potential, and if you can only work on improving the areas where the assessment shows you lacking, you'll be an outstanding mason in the future. And while feeling a little uneasy, you are still able to provide better response when answer questions.
With that said, candidate number 2, I have found your non-competency with this assessment. You may still apply for reassessment just to bring with your accomplishment and application form and the self-assessment guide. CARS 2 piece of passport size with white background and a collar, and the 500 pesos. You submit all your requirements in the TESDA accredited center and wait for the announcement of the next schedule of the assessment. For the confirmation of this assessment, kindly sign this CARS and rating sheets. Your cards will be the assessment by the first of the AC manager, so you may claim it later. So, I will now give the package to the TESDA representative. I will now give the assessment package in the TESDA representative already. My dear assessor, that ends of my COC2 demonstration conducting competency assessment.